Alright, in this step we want to talk about what is the class in C Sharp Unity and how we can use them. Look at this. It is part 6 a script. I made it right now. Look at the structure of this script. It has a main class here. Public, it can be private class, or by default it is public. Public class part 6, the interface or that template we want to use is mono behavior. Okay, and inside these brackets we can write our functions, variables, or anything we want. Or for example here, comments. Okay. For example, let's make something like this: public integer player ID. Okay, and it is equal to. Okay, and also we have public void. For example, player ID shower. Okay, let's say print. It is player ID equal plus player ID. Okay, now we have this function and we have this variable. Excuse me. With calling this class in this class part 6 in a different script or different class, we can change the variable and we can call this function. For example here, and let's make another script which called part 6 plus 1. No. Okay. Here inside, as far as I mentioned in the previous steps about how we can define a button for these scripts, input dot get key down key code dot h. Okay, now we want to define we want to access this parameter player ID of part 6 inside the component of part 61. Okay, we will say part 6, I call it part 6 cool new part 6. Okay, now this part 6 can be visible player ID. Look at this, and we can change this parameter to number 10. By default, part 6 is number 2 player ID. We want to change it to number 10, and also after we change the player ID to 10, let's call this function player ID shower. In fact, we have access to that player ID, change the variable, and also call a function from there. Okay. Now I want to add part 6 here and also part 61 here. Okay, part 6 doesn't have anything except that variable and that function, but part 6.1 just change the variable and call that function. Okay, now look at this. I press H button of my keyboard. Look at this. It's changed the parameter to number 10 and print that function and that variable for me. In fact, it just did that function, called this function player ID shower. It is easy. In our class, we made an object from that class, and also change the parameter and call it a function. It can be anything else. We can change a function, change the parameter, change anything we want by calling a class. So with this method, we can do anything we want, without any restriction. The classes can be in a different, interfaces. For example, we can use the inherited interfaces or other use cases. For example, it can be a continue for this function. In the future, I will explain what is these use cases. What is this use case for classes as well. For now, I think it is fine. Okay, let's go to the next step.